When you have an opposition team which has been experiencing a high-profile amount of disharmony, shall we say, is that something you can sense, and is it something you can exploit?
Look, I think it's, for us as a side, it's of little relevance. You know, it's we all saw what a tough Test match it was up at Trent Bridge. You know, and what a close Test match and what a good Test match it was. So, you know, for us, what's going on off the field, you know, it's irrelevant because of the high quality cricket which is played on the field.
In a high-profile series like this, what's the fast turnaround like? Only 3 days between two sets of matches?
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty used to that in terms of most of our Test matches in series are back-to-back. You know, two back-to-back. Actually, in New Zealand we played 3 back-to-back.
Yeah,
so
this is one so high-profile, so high-pressurised, and 2 that Test match, which must have been draining on everything.
It was, and as I said at the end of the game, it was crucial that we got our recovery process right as a side, and you know, hopefully we've done that. It's just pretty similar for both sides, and it was a very draining Test match. But you know, we've had 2 pretty light practice sessions over these 2 days, and you know, come 11:15 tomorrow morning, you know, that's when it's important.
Is there a danger that it'll be reflected in the play here?
I don't think so. No, I think it's a fantastic setting, isn't it, to play an Ashes Test match at Lords. You know, there will be no need for any extra motivation or any extra. Whatever happened last week's gone now, and the bodies will be tired, but you can always go again for what's, you know, another crucial Test match.
Tim?
Alastair, just on Stephen Fielding, bowls pretty well here. He obviously knows the conditions and the slope and everything really well. Does his record come into your thinking, you know, looking back in the past, or is it purely on how he's sort of doing at the moment, you think?
Yeah, I think your record at certain places can play an impact, but I think it is, you know, you always, as I say, you're trying to find the balance of attack for the conditions which you find tomorrow, and obviously past form and past bowling is very important that you're looking at that, because you know, you can't go what happened 2 years ago or a year ago. So yeah, so I think that's part of the skill of being a selector, is trying to weigh up all those conundrums and try and get the right answer at the end.
I guess, I mean, batters, if they go through a poor run, or you know, they're looking for form, you know, they tend to get another chance. I guess what the bowlers are probably in your ear saying, look, even if I'm not at my best, you know, give me another chance, give me a decent run. Yeah,
I mean, it's again, every captain has it, isn't it? Like, the batter's always, you know, a couple of low scores, you know, you get a couple of good balls or play a couple of bad shots. It happens in a very short space of time. But as a bowler, it's a bit more prolonged, and you know, you see a bowler over a longer period of time. So I mean, there's everyone's, you know, the batters have an argument, and obviously the bowlers have their different arguments. So yeah, that's another interesting thing which has been thrown up, as always. It always is in every side.
Alastair, how's Jimmy Anderson pulled up after Trent Bridge? Is he sore at all?
Yeah, I think he was a little bit sore after the game, after bowling. I think he bowled pretty close to 50 overs, didn't he? So that was a huge workload for him. But he's not injured or anything like that. So he's pulled up okay.
Alastair, are you one of those captains who likes to follow the adage of not changing a winning team, or do you think that perhaps when you do win and never change, that's a sign of strength?
I think you obviously try to be as loyal as you can to your players who won a Test match. You want to give people the feeling of confidence in the side that they're going to get a good run. But on the other hand, as always is, you pick a side which you think is going to win that game. And I think sometimes, you know, you do have to make tough decisions on that one. So every situation is different. I mean, I'd love to say that the guys who play under me feel that I've got their back and are supportive, but sometimes, you know, you do have to make a decision which is tough for the good of the game, for the good of the side.
It was a fantastic win, Alastair, with some stand-up performances, but do you think there's still further this team can go? Do you think they can improve?
Yeah, without a doubt. I think every side you're always striving to improve, aren't you? I think that's one of Andrew Flower's, you know, big thing as a coach. If you stand still, you get caught up. So you're always trying to better yourself in practice with your batting and bowling, your physical side. If you're comfortable with where you got, you know, you can come unstuck. So you know, we always strive to get higher standards. You know, it wasn't a perfect Test match by any stretch of imagination from us, but what we did do is we managed to win, which is a good sign.
Do you think Lords can be an inspiration perhaps to visiting teams, and that's why some have good records here?
Yeah, possibly. I think look, it is an incredible place to play cricket. And I think as an England side, we're very lucky to get to play here as often as we do. I think actually over the last few years, our record at Lords has improved a hell of a lot. It's one of those things which we spoke about as a side, and not that we had much to do with those records before. We did speak about. I do remember in 2009 speaking about it. We haven't won against Australia here for a long period of time. It'd be great to change that. So, look, I'm not concerned at all. The batters have all scored runs here, and the bowlers have as well taken wicket.
Alistair, you played virtually all your Test career with Stuart Broad. How much does his feistiness as a character contribute to the talented cricket that he's grown into?
Yeah, I think he wouldn't be half the player he is without that competitive edge he's got. He loves the competition, doesn't he? He brings out the best of him, and actually a lot of his spells of, when he's taken 5 wickets very quickly have come when England have needed them most. Like New Zealand last time here at Lords, where chasing 240 on a pretty good wicket. He comes in and rips the heart out of New Zealand, and pretty much in the Oval here in 2009, which pretty much launched his Test career in one way. 80 for, I think they're 80 for naught or something, and then he takes 5 wickets very quickly. So he's a great character, he's a great fighter, and we're going to need 10 more of those guys, in these next 5 days.
Last one, David.
Obviously, you just described Australia's troubles or otherwise irrelevant to you, but when they're as high profile as they have been over the last 24 hours, it's impossible, isn't it? Maybe even counterproductive. It's completely.
Oh yeah, but it's not for us to comment on it. It never has been. One of our strengths, I always go, we concentrate solely on ourselves. We know how important team spirit is. We know how important the team culture is, and we've experienced difficulties in the past. But for me to comment on what's happening in Australia camp, I think would be wrong. And anyone, as I said, saw what happened in Trent Bridge doesn't seem to affect them.